Hello everyone, my name is Robert Salem and this is my partner Amanda Hopkins. Today we will be talking about how the language that we use in our daily lives can influence our perceptions of the world around us and reflect the attitudes we hold towards one another. The language that we use in our daily lives has a lot of impact on our perception of the world that we live in. A simple word such as a name can determine so much about a person. For instance, let us ponder upon the idea behind a name. Imagine not having a name. Imagine someone asking you what your name is and your reply being, "Hello, my name is 3," or "Hello, my name is Blue," instead of "My name is Mike," or "My name is Chelsea." What does a name represent? A name can identify your gender, sometimes your ethnicity, and many other things. More frequent names such as Michael, John, and Wendy are often more active, stronger, and better than unusual ones. Many immigrants that come to Canada are also forced to change their names for business reasons. For instance, while the Chinese name Fi Yan may seem extremely cool, it is often better to change it to Chris or Mike instead to keep it simple and more appealing. Names can be mostly influential during first encounters, and once communicators become more familiar with one another, the power of names tends to decrease. For example, let us consider this scenario. "Hello, my name is Robert. I would like to apply for this job." "Well, hello there, Robert. My name is Hitler, and I am the manager." While Hitler may be the world's nicest man alive, this will definitely not be the first thought that comes to your head during your first encounter. Another issue that is associated with names is women after marriage. While some women choose to change their names to their husband's last name, other women choose to keep their last name. A study by Karen Foss and Belle Edson showed that women's choice is likely to reveal a lot about herself and her relationship with her husband. Studies have shown that women who change their names to their husband's last name place the most importance on relationships, followed by social expectations of how they should behave, followed lastly by issue of self. On the contrary, women who kept their names after marriage were most likely to put their personal concerns ahead of relationships and social expectations. There are two concepts that are usually associated with the impact of language on our social lives: convergence and divergence. Let us start with convergence, which is the process of adapting one's speech style to match that of others with whom the communicator wants to identify. A simpler way of describing convergence is a parent speaking to his 15-year-old son. "Hey yo Mike, tell your homies not to be too loud, 'cause I gotta hit the sax soon time. Do you feel me?" This shows how a parent is trying to fit in with his child's friends in order to appear cool, or in better words, down with the flow. Divergence, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. Divergence is considered as the speech mannerisms that emphasize a communicator's differences from others. For example, communicators that would rather set themselves apart from others would choose to speak a different language than the rest of the group. Also, a lawyer or a doctor can maintain credibility with their clients by using a formal and professional approach rather than a typical one. How can the language we use impact the health field? Let us look at two different scenarios and figure out which is better and why. Scenario number 1. "Hello sir, your wife has suffered major brain hemorrhage due to a car accident. We did everything we could to save her, but unfortunately the damage was too severe and we were not able to." Scenario number 2. "Excuse me sir, well, as you may know, your partner, your wife had a really terrible accident, and well, I don't know how to say this. But we did everything we could, and unfortunately, your wife, she did not make it." As you can see, these two scenarios, although may send the same message, the way they send it is completely different. As the husband of the patient, which one would you rather? Of course, the first scenario, although is a little more harsh, it sends the message faster and clearer. Another important way of dealing with situations in the health field is by always taking the responsibility when required, rather than blaming it on other things. A person that is constantly using it instead of I shows a lack of position taken. For instance, instead of saying, "I did everything I could to save the patient," the doctor would say, "It just wasn't possible to save the patient." An it statement replaces the person pronoun I with the less immediate word it. When using I, it is definite that the speaker is the source of the message. Often communicators that use the it statement avoid responsibility and often blame their malfunction on other sources, rather than themselves. In conclusion, it is clear that the impact of language cannot be neglected on our daily lives, whether it is a simple word such as a name or the concept of a woman keeping her birth name or changing it to her husband's after marriage. Also, in a work field such as the health field, there are many appropriate and inappropriate languages such as powerful and responsible language. Therefore, it is important to always use the right method during the right time and to be careful while choosing your words because they clearly have more of an impact than we perceive at times.